I have a small obsession, and that obsession is with vinegars. I have a lot of vinegars, and they're absolutely indispensable in my kitchen, and I'm gonna just break it down for you in terms of why I have so many vinegars. Stay tuned. Greetings everybody, welcome to Brian's Table. I'm Brian Singh, and today I'm going to break down my one obsession that I have with vinegars. I love having vinegars around because if we think about our palate, our acid receptors are to the outside of our tongue, but they play a very integral part in giving you balance to food. You know, there's lots of cookbooks out there saying you gotta balance salt, acid, salty, and sweet. There's the Ayurvedic principles that they have in India where there's sour, but acid is also part of the mix. But every culture around the world uses vinegar in some way or form. Vinegar is primarily acetic acid, and because it's an acid, it's gonna bring, obviously, that acid to the dish. But think about how you use acid in a dish. Sometimes you use lemon juice to bring acid, but you want to give a citrus flavor to it. Similarly, you use vinegar to bring acid and another element to it. So, a couple of things to think about. When you're using vinegar as an acid, it helps balance off sweet. It also enhances sour. So, think about that too. It plays well with those two. So think about some of those lovely dressings you get from Southeast Asia, those pungent dressings which have a lot of lime in it, which is a sharp acid, but also sugar. So the acid balances off with the sugar. The other thing that acid also does, and vinegar specifically, it helps bring another dimension to hot food. So think about things like vindaloo. Vindaloo, they add vinegar to it to accentuate the spiciness of the sauce. So anywhere where you can use acid, you can use vinegar. So let me break down why I have so many vinegars and to explain which ones are which. So one of my favorite ones, and this is an aged vinegar. It's a sherry vinegar, and it is from Spain. There's a very intricate way of making it. They call it the Solera method, where they have these racks of casks where they hold the vinegar, and they have them of different ages. So some of them are 50 years, some of them are 5 years, and they blend it to give you this product. Anything with Mediterranean cooking where there is a little bit of a sweet or tart element. So think about, like, if you want to do that watermelon salad, you can make that with sherry vinegar. Sherry vinegar is also great at adding to various dishes to bring that a little bit of that sweet acidic element to it. The other vinegar, next one I have, and this is called cane vinegar. Here we go. It's made from sugar cane, and it's fermented. It smells a lot like regular white vinegar, and notice I don't have that here, because again, white vinegar is white vinegar, but it's really handy in pickling. But again, you change the vinegar, you change the flavor. And the nice thing about this one, it's very close to traditional white vinegar, but it has a little bit of that fermented funkiness that's really good in South Asian dishes, specifically from areas in southern India and Sri Lanka. In Filipino cuisine, cane vinegar is also used. I also have a date vinegar. Yes, one that's made from dates. This one, you think about it in Middle Eastern cuisine, in Iran, they have all of these stews where there's a little sour element. They use date vinegar in that region there to bring that element of acid and to sour to some of these stews. Rice vinegar, very ubiquitous throughout East Asian cuisines, all the way from Japan and Korea, all the way down to Indonesia. There's a lot of these rice type vinegars, and this one is pretty much a pure one, aged You add this to any sort of Southeast Asian salad dressing, delicious. You want to make a Thai noodle salad, this is the vinegar you're going to use. It plays really well with sugar and adds not a sharp bit of acid, but a little bit more of a fruity acid and acidity to your dish. We got the Chinese black vinegar here, which is Qingqiang vinegar. Please, I apologize if my pronunciation is off. Again, this one it's made with rice, but it's also made with wheat. This one, if you go to a Chinese restaurant that serves smashed cucumber salad, more than likely they're going to use this vinegar in it. I also like using it as a substitute if I'm going to be making a salad with a little more of an Asian influence. It adds a lovely roundness of flavor. Let's now move to the European continent. This is one that I have, which is called red vinegar. What's the difference between red vinegar and red wine vinegar? This one is using the dried grapes, so the grapes have not been fermented. And what I like with this, it brings that grapey, almost red wine element to it without bringing that winey element. So if you're using this in like a Greek salad, brings a lot of flavor. Just love it. Balsamic vinegar. Most probably one of the most famous vinegars in the world is from Modena, north of Bologna. And this is made with grape must, and it is also fermented kept in barrels for years, and it just gets thicker, richer, sometimes a little sweeter, and it's a critical element in things like a caprese salad where you're able to use with tomatoes and mozzarella cheese. Also, a host of other uses in Italian foods. It's a very rich style vinegar. You can reduce it into a glaze, decorate plates. A glaze goes really well with cheese. Lots of uses on this one. Now we have the wine vinegars. We have a red wine, we have a white wine vinegar, and these are fairly standard vinegars that you'd use. For instance, you could use them in making a mustard vinaigrette, for if you want to have that classic Parisian dish of duck confit and bitter greens. These vinegars will work lovely. They play well with mustard. And think about fresh greens when you want to be having these vinegars. One vinegar that I like keeping around is a white balsamic vinegar. This is called white balsamic vinegar condiment. It's a little sweeter than regular vinegar. And what I like to do is, wherever I'm using lemon or a really sharp vinegar, to bring a little bit of sweetness and a little bit more roundness to the acid, I would use this as one of those little unexpected in-between flavors. So really nice treat to have, and as you can see, compared to the regular balsamic vinegar, it's a lot lighter. So this is using grape must, which is from white grapes, versus from dark grapes. And on top of that, this is not aged as well. The last vinegar that I'm going to talk about is good old apple cider vinegar. This is great. I like adding it to coleslaw. Anywhere that I'm going to use fruit in a dish, I like in a salad especially, apple cider vinegar is a really good vinegar to use there. I also think that it's good in pickling. There's a whole bunch of these vinegars. I will say that this and regular white vinegar would be what you want to do in any application where there's a long-term preservative. But this one also has a very special quality. If you suffer from kidney stones, this is a vinegar that you could have a teaspoon every day. Watch your teeth, because again, vinegar is high in acid, not great for the teeth. And you want to be able to have this on a daily basis, and it will help you mitigate any of the risks of kidney stones. So vinegars do tend to have this medicinal quality over history, and they bring a lot of great acid, and they also bring a lot of variety of flavors with the basic application of acid to any dish. So yes, my obsession with vinegar is fully justified if you get into all of the applications that I use them for, And for those of you who watch my videos, know that I tend to travel around the world and love to have all these flavors on hand. And you too can also have them by just using different vinegars and different applications. You could bring other unique dimensions to whatever you're making at home. So that's my vinegar obsession. Yes, I do have a lot of them, but as you can see, each one of these has multiple uses depending on where I'm using it. And you could too. Change the vinegar, change flavor. Question of the day. Do you have a favorite vinegar that you use and use it for a special application? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. I truly appreciate the time that you spend with me and watching my videos. And if you like what you're seeing, please hit the like button and subscribe. Doing so will help me understand how to improve my channel and grow its audience. In the meantime, go out to your local grocery store or specialty store, go and sample a new vinegar and try it in a dish. Let me know how that works out. And you can go out there with more vinegar, more acid, more options, and you will go out there and taste the world.